In this lesson, we are going to have a look at finding the number of trials for a binomial distribution with the help of CAS technology. Right, so I'm going to look at two different examples here. Let's look at question number one. So question number one is talking about Rex is shooting at a target. His probability of hitting the target is 0.6, right? So that gives us the information about the probability of success. So the probability of success is equal to 0.6. What is the minimum number of shots needed for the probability of Rex hitting the target exactly 5 times to be more than 25%? So basically they're asking us to find what is the chances of him hitting the target exactly 5 times, and its probability needs to be greater than 25% or 0.25, right? So I'm just going to jump straight to my CAS calculator here. What we're going to do is first we're going to open up a calculator page. Right, we're going to go menu, actions, define, and we're going to define a variable x which depends on n. So I've put it in brackets n equals binom PDF, because we're dealing with exactly 5. So that's why I've got to choose binom PDF. So again, menu 5 distributions and then binom PDF. Number of trials being n. The probability of success in this case is 0.6, so 0.6, and the value for x we're looking at exactly 5 successes. So I'm going to put in 5 and I'm going to press enter, and that's defined the binomial distribution for n number of trials, right? So from this point onwards, what we're going to do is we're going to click on Control DOC, open up a list and spreadsheet, right? Now from this point onwards, I will ask you to click on Control T, right, and that gives us the variable which we defined in the previous page. So I'm going to select that variable by pressing enter, right, and here's a list of the number of trials is on the left hand side, and the chances of achieving 5 success is on the right hand column here. So if I scroll down, we scroll down until we reach the desired value, which in this case is we need the probability of at least a 25% success, and which I can see here is when we get to 7 trials, the chances of hitting the target 5 times for Rex in this case is going to be 0.2612, which is greater than 25%. So if I go back to the question, so the minimum number of trials, the number of shots that he needs to take, has to be equal to 7. All right, let's jump into a second example. So Monique is practicing going for netball. She knows from past experience that her chances of making any one shot is about 70%. So that gives us the probability of success to be 0.7. Her coach has asked her to keep practicing until she scores 50 goals. How many shots would she need to attempt to ensure that the probability of scoring at least 50 goals is more than 0.99? So the probability of scoring at least 50 goals has to be equal to the complementary event, which is 1 minus the complementary event, which is the probability of scoring less than 50 goals, right? So if I put that into perspective, we're basically saying what are the chances of this happening being less than that. Give me a second, guys. Being less than 50 goals is more than 0.99, right? Now, obviously being less than 50, we have all the way options from 0 to 49, and to set it up in using the binomial formula is going to be virtually impossible, right? That leaves us with only one option, which is to use our CAS technology. So I'm going to go back to my CAS document, right? I'm going to start a new document just so we can see things very clearly, right? So we're going to go again, menu, actions, define, right? I'm just going to use alphabet G, doesn't matter which alphabet you use, brackets N, so that defines G with respect to N, equals 1 minus, now this case we're dealing with less than 50 goals, so we will have to use the binom CDF, so menu, probability, distributions, and binom CDF is alphabet B, all right? The number of trials we don't know, which is N, probability of success in this question is 0.7, lower bound 0, upper bound is 49. So because the question was at least 50 goals, the complementary is less than 50 goals, so 49. Right, so we've now defined the function. So we're going to go to a list and spreadsheets page. right? And we're going to go Control C again, right? And we're going to select the variable we defined in the previous page, right? And as we scroll down, we're looking for a value that is greater than 0.99, right? So we're looking for a value greater than 0.99. Obviously, as you can see, there is quite a number of trials where we start getting the probabilities. So 0.99, as we can see, we're getting closer to it. And here we go. The first value where it is greater than 0.99 is for 86 trials. So in this question, if Monique wants to achieve a probability of more than 0.99 by scoring at least 50 goals, she needs to take 86 shots at the goal. So the number of trials is equal to 86. Alrighty, folks. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day.